My name's Barry, and I'm pretty hairy. I'm too big for you to carry. Uh-huh, uh-huh. I move to the left. I move to the right. All my students are out of sight. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Now, I'm a teacher, and that's pretty cool, 'cause I teach at the Julian School. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Let me get in here. That's a song I wrote when I was teaching in Taiwan. I taught everybody from kindergarten up to junior highs. Uh, they like to sing songs, and so I wrote this song. Uh, Another song that they liked, that a friend of mine, she's a Vietnamese American, and she was a singer and played the guitar, and she wrote a song, a kid's song one time. It's called Alligator Pie, and it goes like this. Alligator pie, alligator pie. If I don't get some, I think I'm going to cry. Take away the green grass, take away the sky, but don't take away my alligator pie. And I go, ah, alligator will get it. I taught that to the little kids, the kindergartens and first and second graders, and they loved that song. Oh, by the way, I'm Barry, and you're watching Barry and the PI. Be sure to subscribe and like, and share this video with your friends. If you got kids, you can let them watch that part of this video. Uh, so I enjoyed teaching kids. I enjoyed working with kids, which I did most of my younger life, my older life too. Uh, I I didn't get to my teaching certificate until I was about 40 years old. I had worked as a student. I worked with the Austin Parks and Recreation Department as a playground leader. And I worked at Cove Valley Park, which is a fairly large park, mostly Mexican American students. Kids would come and spend the summer at my park, and we had all kinds of activities for them. And we played softball and against other parks around the city of Austin, and I really enjoyed that. I had a great time, and they really liked me. Uh, that was expressed to me by a lot of people, including the kids themselves. Uh, I went on to finish school and did some archaeology work, and then I got a job offer from the U.S. government to be a production management specialist for the Air Force in San Antonio. But I did that. I was very good at it. I went from a GS-5 to a GS-11 in 3 years. And I wanted to transfer to another program. And my boss said, no, he can't let you go. You got this program running good now. So I decided I'd go back to school and become a teacher. Teaching, the pay was rising up a little bit. So I thought, well, I can make it on that. So I went back and had to take education courses, and I finished that after about a year, and took all the testing and stuff. So I was qualified to teach government, economics, world geography, and history, both American history and world history. So I set out to find a job, and the first job I found that was offered to me was in Eagle Pass, Texas. Eagle Pass is in the news a lot because that's where a lot of immigrants are coming over from Mexico and South America, Central South America. So I accepted that job, and they gave me 3 different subjects that I had to teach. It means 3 preparations every day. That's tough on a teacher to have that many preps that you have to do. Plus, this was going to be I was going to teach at a junior high, and it had a lot of problems at that place. There's first of all, there's a Native American tribe that lives there. They had, it's Kickapoo Indians. They had been driven from their homeland here in the United States, and they fled to Mexico, where Mexico gave them some land for a reservation. And so they had all moved back in the 1800s, and they decided to come back in the 1960s, I believe it was, and the United States wouldn't let them in. So what they did is they camped out under the bridge, and they lived there under the bridge for years and years, and then finally they were given some land there in Eagle Pass, and so there's I had a bunch of Kickapoo students too, and then some of our students were kids of farm workers. They would take off by September. They'd start leaving and following the migrant worker trail around the country. They wouldn't get back in until April, so they'd already missed quite a bit of school. So we had a program after school that they would have to go to and try to get caught up. But all my students were Mexican American or Kickapoo Indians. They were a good group. They could be a little noisy, they could be a little naughty sometimes, but all in all, they were pretty good kids. And I had fun with them, and they liked me as a teacher. I didn't always think they liked me as a teacher, but they kept telling me, "You're a great teacher." And I'd make them laugh a lot, and they would make me laugh a lot too. I had one big guy. I mean, he was at least 6 foot tall, and probably weighed about 280. And Jaime, if you're watching this, Jaime, how you doing, buddy? he would always talk about, I'm going to fix you up with a little 18-year-old girl. Yeah, yeah. And they would do, a lot of them were good artists, and they would draw pictures of me as like a bodybuilder, had this and big muscles and stuff, tiny little waist and stuff. They'd stick them up on the wall. Uh, they were a lot of fun. I wish I would have stayed there, but uh, I decided to go elsewhere. And a friend told me that they needed a special ed teacher at Presidio, Texas, which is right on the border out far west near Big Bend National Park, which was one of my favorite places in the world. I've camped and hiked that all over that park over the years. I even dug up some dinosaur bones for the museum one summer. Uh, so, and I'd worked in other areas of that far west Texas on geological research projects. So I like being out in Presidio. Now, Presidio is also well known as the hottest place in Texas. Yeah, it gets hot. It gets hot. It sits in a little valley. Across the water, across the river is Ojinaga, Mexico. And actually it's bigger than Presidio. I think it had 80,000 people or something like that. And so I took that job. I had large classes. Same with in Eagle Pass. I mean, not only on 3 preps, but one of my classes was like 36 students. My lowest class was 28. So that's a lot of people to teach. Beginning of the year, I'd have problems that not enough books or not enough desks for them to sit in. But the girls there were very flirtatious with me. I had to watch myself, had to behave myself. There's some pretty good looking Mexican American girls there. So it was fun. It was fun. And then I stayed a year in Eagle Pass. The principal of the high school, he was one of the best principals I'd ever worked with. He was really good. Really cared about the students and about the teachers. So he got fired, or he quit, and I decided not to go back there. And a friend that I'd met there, he was a Native American, and he called me up and said, "Barry, come out here. He's teaching on the Navajo Indian Reservation. Come out here, they've got some jobs for you." And so I went out there, and sure enough, they hired me to teach special ed. And so I did that. I liked the students, really neat kids, all Navajo, except for some of the sons and daughters of teachers. So did all of that. I enjoyed my teaching career. I finished there in Chinle, Arizona, on the Navajo reservation. One of the prettiest places on the reservation because it's got Canyon de Chelly, a beautiful national monument there. There was a big battle between the U.S. and Navajos was held there. So I just driving around the reservation was just amazed at the beauty of just the natural environment there. And so I enjoyed teaching. I finished my career there at 67, I think, yeah, 67. And I didn't retire though. I got a job as a park ranger with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and in Virginia. And so that's where I ended up retiring after a year there. Well, that's a little bit about me, and tomorrow we'll talk about places to go to find your girlfriend, wife. Uh, we'll do that tomorrow. I've talked long enough and rambled on. I'm glad I became a teacher. I have great memories of my students, and they were a lot of fun. Well, that's about it. Y'all take care of yourself. Have a great day. It's a little bit hot up here today. It's getting a little winded now, but earlier it wasn't much wind. So I'm having a great day. You do too. And take care of your family, your kids, your pets. And adios, amigos and amigas. And hook 'em horns. We'll see you again tomorrow.